Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Beatbox video series. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Sol against ETH. More in particular, I'll be giving you guys an update on what we've been talking about for the past few weeks now on what could happen for Solana against Ethereum. So just for a little bit of context, Solana has been outperforming Ethereum since Q3 of last year, mainly since September to October, and now it's been stuck within a range since basically this whole year, since early January, that we've been chopping and grinding sideways after this big impulse up. And after a few months of trading, we started to look for some signals and started finding out some signals that this chart might be reversing to the downside and that there could be a potential distribution in the chart. On this case, it would be a potential week of distribution type 2, where you had some preliminary supply and in November, then the buying climax, an automatic response, a secondary test, the first sign of weakness, an upthrust, and then last points of supply being put in on the chart. But for the first video I did on Sol ETH, we talked about maybe this whole distribution that hasn't been confirmed yet. Remember that in order for this distribution to be confirmed, you need a daily candle close below the sign of weakness, and that's where you would enter phase E, which is the downmark phase. We talked on the last video that maybe this whole distribution wasn't going to play out since on how Solana was showing strength. More now than Solana have two filings for spot ETF. Granted, this filings has not come from BlackRock still, which is has an extraordinary track record for ETFs approvals. So you need to know when the BlackRock filing ETF for Solana comes, it's game over for Sol ETH, in my opinions, and Solana is going to keep outperforming Ethereum for the rest of the cycle, but that hasn't happened yet. But I think there are some things to take into consideration that maybe this whole distribution is not even going to get confirmed. The first thing that we looked at also in last video was this bullish divergence on the MACD histogram from this low to this lower low, whereas you had a higher low on the histogram, and now it's already playing out with positive momentum. And this is very important, in my opinion, the price action from the last 3 days, because you did a higher high regarding this last point of supply here. So maybe you're breaking market structure from this downtrend here, from this high here, then a lower low here regarding this low, then a lower high, then another lower low here. So maybe this is a higher high regarding this high, and then potentially you put in a higher low regarding this low, and you start trending up again. And this whole distribution schematic would get invalidated if you come into the buying climax and upthrust zone and start putting some value up here. Possibly you get a breakout, then this whole distribution is just going to turn out to be whatever, reaccumulation and just some choppiness before heading higher. So I've been doing the exercise on not looking left from June 22nd. I just pretend that none of this to the left is going on, basically because of the Sol ETF news. I think that's pretty spectacular for Solana, although it's not been approved, and they have a deadline for February of next year. So I think that's gonna fuel a lot of speculation on this asset. Plus, Ethereum ETF might start trading soon, and I think that's gonna propel this whole narrative even further. Regarding the Solana, I mean the Ethereum ETF trading, I think it's gonna depend on what the Bitcoin flows are doing. So if the Bitcoin flows are good and we're getting big inflows, then I think the Ethereum ETF is going to trade as beta to that kind of inflows. And granted, Ethereum is a March smaller asset, so it might pump harder, but I think it's just gonna rely on the Bitcoin ETF on that regard. I don't think it's gonna decouple. For example, if the Bitcoin ETF is not getting any kind of inflows, I don't think the Ethereum ETF is gonna get like a decoupling from that scenario and start getting like mad inflows, and while BTC does nothing and don't get any kind of inflows. So we'll see what the start of the trading of that product does to this chart. But as for now, I remain bullish. Although I was looking at this whole kind of scenario, which was pretty bearish for Sol ETH. I think that this bullish divergence actually playing out, getting back above the 200 moving average, putting in a higher high regarding this last point of supply. I think you might get a market structure break to the upside and maybe recapture this highs and continue trending even into price discovery of this pair. And on the flip side of the coin, my validation to this would be just this, or whatever higher we go, turning out to be a deviation, following below the 200 here, maybe putting a bearish retest and continue coming down and have that confirmation of the sign of weakness, a daily candle close below here, then I think this whole distribution could get confirmed and you would enter phase E, which is the down mark where Solana would lose the most market share against Ethereum. But given on how this bullish divergence performing, given this higher high that we just had, and given the fact that Solana one day might also get an ETF, I think Solana is going to continue to be the flavor of the market regarding a layer one and regarding a large cap getting bidded. And I think most of Solana beta for that regard, it's going to outperform Ethereum beta if this chart continues to the upside. So that's Sol ETH. Let's take a look at Solana itself against USD. So Solana has been trading sideways on this channel for quite some time. You have had two large deviations to the upside, but mostly stuck within this range, printing positive momentum on the MACD histogram, and it's currently below this critical inflection point from the 2022 complacency shoulder here at $144. So I think if you flip 144, there's a good chance that you might go to $170 because this is a straight down territory. You don't chop that much between these two areas, so there's a lot of inefficiency above 144, and you're also holding the 200 moving average. You lost it twice, so maybe this was a confirmation low. And now you're above it and fighting against that big level, which if it gets flipped, I think 170 might be next for Sol USD. And Sol BTC also, it's above a big inflection point here from 2021. It's below the complacency shoulder from that cycle, but also lost the 200 and made a reclaim to it, had a big bounce out of it yesterday, a bullish engulfing candle, and today you're up 0.18%. So having some follow through to that bullish engulfing. You did have this hidden bearish divergence on the MACD histogram because you had here a higher high regarding this high on the histogram and a lower high on price. So that could mean a continuation to the downside from this top here. But given the strength that's showing, the strong positive momentum that's still having on the MACD histogram, this could easily be taken out if you start to put in strong positive momentum once again, and you take out this high from here and create a higher high, then the whole hidden bearish divergence on the daily for Sol BTC might get just thrown out of the window. So it's on an interesting spot right now for sure. You do have that hidden bearish divergence on Bitcoin dominance, but as long as you stay above the 200, I think you're going to be fine on Sol BTC. So going to Ethereum, ETH, USD. You'll see how it's different. On this case, you're below the 200. On Sol USD, you're above the 200 moving average. You're fighting to stay above this $3,000 level here from, it's a big inflection point from the prior cycle. And you'll see some differences here against Solana. So Solana's above the 200 and Solana's fighting to get back above the complacency shoulder from 2022. So if USD is here, so USD is somewhere around here. So you'll see the outperformance that Solana has been having on this puke that we had for last month on the crypto market. You don't have any kind of hidden bearish divergence on the MACD, at least not on the USD pair, and you're losing negative momentum as for now. And going into ETH BTC, you're also trying to get above the 200, where on Sol BTC, you're just above it and using it as support. And you had a bullish engulfing candle yesterday. You just have bullish confluence on the MACD histogram, not any kind of divergence on this move, because this was a higher low and this was also a higher low in price. But in order to get excited for ETH BTC, my opinion, I've been saying this a long time, you need to get above 5,600 sats, or a little bit higher. Actually, it's 5,605 sats, which is an inflection point from 2017 cycle. You'll see here resistance, then support, resistance, support, and when it failed, you had a large drawdown. And it also was regarded in 2021 here, big inflection point twice. Then on 2022, and you lost this level. You had quite the battle last year with this level, and you lost it and made a lower low. And now you're creating a lower high regarding this high just below the level. So you need to get above that level, in my opinion, in order to get it going for ETH BTC. So hopefully that happens, because I think it's going to be really healthy for altcoins and for potentially a Bitcoin dominance rollover if you get above that level. So in summary, I'm not going to pay attention to this whole distribution scenario that we have here because of this higher high that we just had, because of this, the performance of this bullish divergence has been quite good, and because of the Sol ETF news. So as long as you don't create a deviation and potentially create a lower low here, then possibly I'm going to entertain the scenario of Ethereum outperforming Solana. Plus, I'm bullish for the crypto market, although most of the the accounts and influencers and market participants have folded and called for a cycle top. I don't think the cycle top is in yet. And I think Solana has been a great risk on metric for the market itself. If the market's trending higher than Solana, it's usually a BTC beta. It outperforms BTC and performs really well. So if I think that the market's bullish, then I think that Solana, which is a smaller cap than Ethereum, might continue to earn market share from ETH. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is an update on Sol ETH. I think I'll be doing this kind of videos more regularly. My past video had quite some good views. So I think that this one is gonna be liked by the audience as well. So please remember to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment on what you would like to see, subscribe, turn on notifications, and tune in for today's live stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going live Monday through Friday, checking out crypto market and doing TA on a lot of coins. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in.